What's up guys, Evan Jarvis here. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing From the Ground Up by Peter Clarke, brought to you by Run It Once Poker. In their words, From the Ground Up is the ultimate beginner's guide to playing winning poker. Following a structured path, From the Ground Up gives you the foundational skills needed to be a winning player in today's tough games. And after going through the entire 7.5-hour program, I'm pretty inclined to agree with them. This is a great program, especially for the price of just $50. And in this review, I'm going to give you a sneak peek inside the members area and an overview of what's included in the program, discuss who the course is for, talk about my favorite elements and biggest aha moments from it, and share a couple of special bonus offers which you can get if you invest in the course using the link in the video description. So stick around till the end of the video, where I'll discuss a little bit more information on that. Now, with the intro out of the way, let's go inside, shall we? Before buying the course, I had no idea who Peter Clarke was, but I did know the level of quality that Run It Once requires their instructors to adhere to, so I assumed the course had to be pretty solid. Pete specializes in distilling complex concepts for low-stakes players and has done extensive one-on-one coaching, and this really shows in the course. He's paid a ton of attention to detail, which made a lot of the lessons in the program really easy to take in. And you could tell that this wasn't his first time around the block. You could tell that he taught these lessons over and over and over to many different students. And it kind of come to a point where he said, how can I distill everything I've learned into one clear course? So when someone comes to me for coaching, I can say, sure, I'd love to coach you, but please take this course first and let me know if there's anything that you still need on top of that. And that's kind of what From the Ground Up is all about. In addition to breaking down the concepts with text and speech, Peter also included a wide variety of images and metaphors in the course, which is key for learning. I'm someone who needs images to learn. I don't just learn well from hearing someone talk. So the addition of those into a PowerPoint presentation or a course makes it really easy for things to stick, whereas otherwise I'd have no ability to take in the information. So in doing so, he made the concepts accessible and understandable through this process of images and metaphor. And he did a great job of making these complex concepts very easy to get. I could tell that he put a ton of time and effort into both planning out the course and producing it. The slides were all really beautiful and perfectly balanced, like a strong poker range should be. Audio quality was great, and he even used a green screen, which I feel shows a very nice touch of extra effort. So props to Peter Clarke on this. I can see why Run It Once is proud to have this as their foundational course. It's a Rolls-Royce course, which in my opinion is very much on par with what you'd expect from Run It Once Poker. The course is designed primarily for 6-max players, and it's not for complete beginners. So if you know absolutely nothing about poker and you're watching this review video, I invite you to watch my How to Win at Poker course, which is completely free. And then after you've gone through that and you have understanding of the true fundamentals of poker, make your way on over to From the Ground Up so you can move up from there. So what's inside the program? Peter builds on the course, as the name suggests, from the ground up. The course is a mix of poker theory, game theory, and exploitative adjustments. In the pre-flop section and the getting started section, he discusses the most common situations you'll face and how to play properly pre-flop to set yourself up for success post-flop. He also debunks the differences between equity and EV, which often confuses new players and makes a world of difference once understood properly. One has a lot to do with now, and another one has a lot to do with the future. And playing poker at a high level has a lot to do with planning out your hand and looking many steps ahead like a strong chess player. So understanding these two concepts and the difference between them is essential to being a winning player. The range charts that you get with the opening ranges by position look quite nice, and they also come in a downloadable PDF, so you can print them out, put them, on your desk or on your dream board behind your computer and have easy access to them. Peter then also discusses how to adjust for different situations, such as when someone limps and calling an open out of position, calling out of the big blind, and the 3-better fold game from the small blind. So this is a very comprehensive pre-flop strategy that will put you in a favorable position moving on to post-flop. The flop play section is great because for every concept that Peter goes through, he also includes 6 different board types to give a clear picture of all the times a concept applies. He discusses in the selective versus unselective c-betting section when you want to bet with your entire range versus when you want to bet with parts of your range, also known as polarized play. And he discusses how to partition or split your range into choosing the best candidates for each play. This helps you squeeze the most EV from each hand in your range, thereby giving you the most profit from your entire range, really maximizing your profit of not just each hand you play, but your entire range as a result of doing that. And in addition to the offensive strategies for having the lead, Peter also discusses how to defend against leads, when and why it's best to use certain strategies on the flop, like polarized flop raising versus merged flop raising. And if these terms don't make sense now, don't worry, as he explains them quite well in the course. Peter, I found out after enrolling in the course, is also an author who wrote the Grinder's Manual, which is available on Amazon. But after looking at the price, the From the Ground Up video course is a cheaper investment and probably has just as much value, if not more, than the book. So next, after the flop play, he gets into the first level of concepts, which are essential. Combos are the foundation of the mathematics of poker, and he offers a thorough discussion. He then discusses bet sizing, looking at 4 types of bet sizes: the block bet, the modest bet, the big bet, and the over bet, and discusses when to use each and which hands are best served to use with different bet sizes. So it's very thorough, talks about, again, how to play your entire range with different bet sizes and how to approach a lot of different situations. He also talks about pyramidal defense, which is also very helpful as it gives a way to visualize how to continue when facing aggression and knowing which parts of your range to play on with. Understanding this will really help you with your mental game as well, as it kind of protects you from making calls based on emotion and gives you a more scientific structural approach to all situations based on your range, based on your opponent's bet size, and just keeps you on the plus EV side of the coin. So at this point, after going through the getting started on pre-flop, flop play, and concepts, I think this is the point in the course where it's a really good idea to take a break and get some hands in. As Peter says in the course, too much of anything is a bad thing, and too much study without play or discussion with friends can make learning difficult. And one of the perks of this program is you also get access to the Run It Once forum, which is a great place to meet like-minded people. And as you practice and discuss the concepts with other players after getting firsthand experience, things will really start to make sense, and you'll be ready for level 2. So as Peter builds from the ground up and goes to the higher level, in level 2, he talks about polar versus linear 3-betting, so getting into more advanced 3-betting strategies, talking about mixed 3-betting for how to build your 3-bet ranges that make it very difficult for your opponents to play against you. Also, how to defend versus 3-bets, introducing the 50-50 strategy, talking about which hands you should continue with as opposed to which hands you should fold. And finally, 4-betting polar, which is a great strategy for facing aggressive 3-betters. Next, he talks about turn play and those more advanced plays of float betting the flop, why you might want to do it, and the best times to do it. He also talks about turn probing, which is taking a stab at the turn after someone else has checked the flop, and when you want to be double barreling, as well as why and what hands you would do it with. Next, he moves on to river play, and this is a section that I really loved. I got a ton out of this. Bluff catcher selection and bluff selection, finding the best hands to bluff with given the frequency with which you want to bluff. So the frequency with which you want to bluff is based on what your bet size is, and then the best hands to do it with gets into a lot of deeper concepts, which I'll let Peter discuss in the course. And finally, he goes on to exploitative folding and exploitative calling, because this course isn't just about game theory optimal play. It's also about how to deviate from that game theory baseline to take advantage of your opponent's mistakes, which in almost all formats of poker, your opponents are going to be making mistakes. And thanks to the hand examples Peter uses in the course, with the different player types involved, you get a clear idea of how to make an exploitive play against a tight player versus how to make an exploitive play against a loose player. Finally, Peter concludes the course with concepts level 2, attacking the capped range, again, one of my favorites. Range checking as the pre-flop raiser and introducing the spots where you should never be c-betting, which is quite a change from the old days where the theory was if you raise pre-flop, you bet every flop. 3-bet pots, high frequency betting, and 3-bet pots polarizing. And finally, a favorite section of mine, as it always is, 3 tips for some success, which includes some non-strategic stuff. Now, it's a lot of topics covered, and don't let the length of the lessons fool you. These 10 to 15 minute lessons are dense and packed with plenty of hand examples, which are the best way to get the concepts. And this is why I said you don't just want to blaze through all the material as quickly as possible. You want to take some time to practice the concepts and some time to think about the concepts so they can really settle in, and take some time to discuss the concepts with other players to get feedback on it and ensure you're actually understanding what you've been taught. So for a newer player, watching these lessons 3 to 4 times to get all the juice inside is a great investment of study time, because there's no filler in these videos. That's how he's actually able to get them into such a short length, is just he makes every word count. Each word in the program is kind of like a golden nugget that you can add to your stash, which will build up your bankroll. As for my favorite sections of the program, they were definitely the ones to do with bet sizing. Bet sizing is the part of the game where we have the most room for creativity as poker players next to range construction, and adding in really big bets and really small bets can do wonders for your game. I had a few aha moments in the bet sizing section that taught me how to pick up pots quite easily, I might add, that I hadn't thought of before. Also, the strategies to do with attacking a capped range in particular were awesome, because these situations come up so often, especially when playing in slightly softer games, and it's a really good way to just take away a ton of pots. Another section I really liked was the bluff catching section. It was very interesting and demonstrated that just because a hand is a better poker hand than another doesn't mean it's the best candidate to call with when facing a river bet. The logic and explanation of how blockers and reverse blockers fit into the decision-making process were extremely helpful for me, and I'm confident they will be for you as well. The graphics and attention to detail that Peter put into this course were very much felt. It felt like he invested close to 100 hours in planning, designing, structuring, creating, and commentating the course. And he took his time in making the videos, only recording when he was at his best, and taking time off in between the recordings, and the high quality energy and passion that came from him being at his best form when recording were easily felt. I was also just really impressed at how clearly Peter was able to communicate everything. That's the gift that a great teacher has, and Peter Clarke is most definitely a great poker teacher. At $49.99, this course is a steal in my books. The knowledge in this course today could easily sell for at least $200. And 5 years ago, the concepts being discussed in this course would have sold for multiple thousands of dollars. It's a cool testament to see how much poker teaching has evolved over the years alongside how much poker strategy has evolved over the years. With the access of very high quality information for a very low price, there's never been a better time to be a poker student. Before I took the course, I wasn't expecting too much from a $50 poker course. And by the 5th lesson, I was already blown away and just said, wow, poker training has come a very long way. And speaking of being a poker student, I've got some bonus items that will help you get even more out of your poker study. The first one is when you buy from the ground up using the link in the video description, I will also give you a free copy of my 10-part MTT video guide, which when combined with this 7.5-hour course will make you a formidable opponent in both cash games and multi-table tournaments in less than 12 hours of study. Pretty quick, pretty efficient learning. To collect your copy of the MTT guide, simply forward your receipt from Run At Once to contact@grips.com, and I will send you your bonus items. Also, in addition to the MTT video guide, when you invest in From the Ground Up, you'll also get a free month of essential videos at Run At Once, which is a massive library of content. So if you want hand examples, live play sessions, or more theory videos, you'll find plenty of them there. You'll also get access to the Run It Once forums, which are a great place to connect with serious poker players looking to improve their game. Run It Once has always placed a high emphasis on quality, and that's what led to them building such a strong community. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my review of From the Ground Up and get as much, if not even more, out of the program than I did. It's just an awesome course, and for the price, I don't think there's a better training program on the market for less than $50. Honestly, it greatly passed the test. And to get those bonus items as well, to get even more value from your investment, make sure you use the link in the video description and forward your proof of purchase to contact@grips.com. Looking forward to hearing about your improved results on the poker tables as you continue to sharpen and strengthen your poker mind. And speaking of strengthening your poker mind, Run It Once also has a great course on the mental game called the A-Game Poker Masterclass, which I also did a review on. I'll link the video for that in the end card for you. This has been Evan for Grips Poker Training. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, you know what to do. Take what you learned, go out there, and get stacking.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it educational and entertaining. If you want to join Team Grips, click on that subscribe button and tap that bell to be notified every time a new video goes live. For behind-the-scenes updates and motivational quotes from my poker journey, follow me on Instagram. And when you're ready to take one step closer to becoming poker's next champion, click on me in 3, 2, 1, and let's get stacking.